If you buy ursolic acid hoping for instant muscle or fat loss, that's the trap most people fall into. The real payoff comes when you pair it with the right habits and realistic expectations, so you know if it actually fits your goals. Before we dive in, talk with a qualified clinician before starting or changing any supplements or medications. Here's the quick version so you can decide fast. Ursolic acid may help people who lift weights and want support for body composition and recovery, or adults aiming to support metabolic health along with diet and exercise. It's not a cure for anything, and the research in humans is still small. People who should avoid it include anyone pregnant or breastfeeding, children, and people with liver or kidney disease unless a clinician says it's okay. One key safety note: at supplement doses, it can upset the stomach and may interact with medications, so if you take prescriptions, check first. One simple action step you can take today is to start eating the peels and herbs that naturally contain ursolic acid. Think apple skins and rosemary. Then decide later if a supplement is worth testing. So what is ursolic acid? It's a natural plant compound found in the waxy outer layer of many fruits and herbs. Chemically, it's a triterpenoid, which just means it's built from building blocks plants use to make protective coatings and scents. An easy analogy is to think of it like the shield polish on an apple peel or a sprig of rosemary, part of the plant's outer armor, rather than a vitamin your body needs every day.
How does it work in your body? We don't have the full picture, but here are a few simple ideas. First, it seems to nudge cell signaling linked to muscle maintenance. In early research, it appears to support pathways that help muscles respond to training and protein, which could contribute to better lean mass over time when you actually do the work. Second, it has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory actions in test tube and animal studies, which means it can help calm down some of the everyday wear and tear signals in cells. Third, it may influence how your body uses energy, including signals related to blood sugar handling, and in animals, even brown fat activity, which is the heat-producing kind of fat. In people, those energy effects are early and not guaranteed. Ursolic acid comes from plants, so you can't synthesize it, but your body already has the pathways it's thought to affect, and those pathways respond to your habits. Resistance training, a protein-adequate diet, good sleep, and steady movement are the lifestyle levers that tend to move in the same direction as the benefits people hope to get from ursolic acid. High stress, low sleep, no exercise, and a heavily processed diet push in the opposite direction and make any supplement look weak. Where do you find it from food first? Apple skins are a classic source, so eat the peel once you wash the fruit well. Herbs like rosemary, thyme, basil, and oregano carry it too, especially when fresh or gently cooked. You'll also find some in cranberries and prunes. If you cook at home, add a big pinch of rosemary or thyme to roasted vegetables, poultry, or beans. If you eat apples often, choose whole apples, not peeled slices. These habits give you a mix of helpful plant compounds beyond ursolic acid and are generally safe and inexpensive. Supplements come in after that. Most products use apple peel or rosemary extracts standardized for ursolic acid content. Because the compound doesn't dissolve well in water, many people take it with a meal that includes some healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, to help absorption.
Ursolic acid is not an essential nutrient, so there's no deficiency disease. The better way to think about it is context. Diets low in plants, especially low in fruit peels and culinary herbs, are likely lower in ursolic acid and many other helpful compounds. Who's most likely to ask about it? People doing resistance training, older adults working to maintain muscle, and those curious about metabolic support. If you're considering a supplement, talk with your clinician about basic lab checks that track overall health and safety. Liver enzymes, kidney function, fasting glucose or A1C if you're monitoring blood sugar, and any labs related to medications you take. What does the evidence say? For muscle and body composition, the research is early to mixed. Animal studies are strong, but don't always translate. Human trials so far are small, often a few dozen people, and usually run for weeks to a few months. Some report small improvements in lean mass or strength when combined with training. Others don't see a clear effect. For metabolic health markers like fasting glucose, insulin sensitivity, or waist measures, we're looking at early studies, again, small and short, with mixed outcomes. For inflammation and recovery, most of the support comes from lab and animal work, with limited human data. If you decide to shop, here's buyer guidance to stay grounded. Common forms include apple peel extract or rosemary leaf extract, standardized to a certain percentage of ursolic acid. Typical capsule sizes range from about 50 to 150 milligrams of ursolic acid per capsule. Human studies have commonly used total daily amounts in the ballpark of 150 to 450 milligrams per day. Because absorption may be better with food, many people take it with a meal, and some split the dose morning and evening. There is no established recommended dietary allowance, adequate intake, or official upper limit for ursolic acid. When you evaluate quality, look for third-party testing, such as USP, NSF, or informed choice on the label, or at minimum a recent certificate of analysis that shows identity and purity. For cost math, imagine a bottle with 60 capsules at 150 milligrams each for $20 to $30. If your target test dose is 300 milligrams per day, that's 2 capsules, so roughly 50 cents to $1 per effective day depending on the brand and sale price.
Let's talk safety and interactions. From food and culinary herbs, ursolic acid is generally safe. As a supplement, the most common side effects are stomach upset, heartburn, nausea, or loose stools, especially at higher doses or on an empty stomach. Red flags that mean stop and call a clinician include persistent abdominal pain, dark urine, yellowing of the skin or eyes, or unusual fatigue, because those could signal liver stress. Because ursolic acid can interact with drug-metabolizing enzymes in lab studies, there's a reasonable caution for people on multiple medications. If you take drugs for blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood thinning, or immunosuppression, check with your prescriber before trying it. Skip it during pregnancy and breastfeeding because safety data are lacking. If you have known liver or kidney disease, do not start it without medical guidance. For athletes in tested sports, use only products with banned substance screening, like NSF Certified for Sport or Informed Sport. Who is likely to benefit and who likely will not? If you lift weights 2 to 4 days per week, eat enough protein, and you're looking for a small edge on lean mass or recovery, ursolic acid is a possible yes to test for 8 to 12 weeks while tracking measurements. If you're sedentary, inconsistent with training, or hoping it will replace exercise, it's almost certainly a no. If you're chasing blood sugar control but haven't changed diet, sleep, and walking after meals, it's a no for now. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, under 18, or managing organ disease or many prescriptions, it's a no unless your clinician says otherwise. Let's take a look at what's new in recent findings. First, small human studies continue to test ursolic acid alongside resistance training. They generally show that if there is a benefit, it's modest and depends on actually doing the workouts. Second, newer formulations aim to improve absorption, like complexes or liposomal versions. These look promising on lab measures, but we still need head-to-head human trials that compare outcomes people care about, like strength or A1C. Third, there's interest in older adults for muscle maintenance, but trials are small and we need longer studies to know if real-world function improves. The limits are clear. Short length, small size, and varied doses make it hard to give a one-size-fits-all recommendation.
How do you stack and time it with lifestyle? Pair it with the basics that drive results. Resistance training, enough protein spread across the day, about 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram body weight for active adults unless your clinician advises otherwise, plus sleep and hydration. It seems to fit best with a mixed meal that includes some fat to aid absorption. It doesn't have a well-known competitor for absorption like calcium and iron do, but taking it with food generally reduces stomach issues. If you use fish oil, magnesium, or vitamin D, there's no known problem taking them the same day. Just avoid swallowing a fistful of new supplements at once so you can identify what causes side effects if they show up. If you drink alcohol, keep it moderate, because adding extra liver stress is never a good pairing with a new supplement. Here's a short practical plan for 3 situations. If you're a budget-focused eater, start with food only for 4 weeks. 1 whole apple with peel most days, use rosemary and thyme in cooking 3 to 5 times per week, and lift weights at least twice weekly. Reassess how you feel before spending money. If you're vegan and already eating lots of plants, consider a time-limited trial of a standardized apple peel extract at 150 milligrams twice daily with meals for 8 weeks, while you track strength, waist, and body weight. Then decide if it's worth continuing. If you take prescription medications for blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, or clotting, do not start a supplement until you ask your clinician. And if you get the green light, start low, go slow, and recheck your labs on schedule.
Let's do a quick myth versus fact lightning round. Ursolic acid is not a steroid. It's a plant compound. Ursolic acid does not replace training or protein. It may support results if the training is already in place. Ursolic acid is not the same as ursodeoxycholic acid or urolithin A. Those are completely different substances. If you like checklists, here's your simple one. Eat the peel, season your food, lift something, sleep enough. If you test a supplement, take it with meals, track what matters, and be honest with your results after 8 to 12 weeks. If nothing is changing, stop and redirect your energy to what does work for you. To wrap up, ursolic acid is a plant compound most people meet when they eat apple skins or cook with herbs. The lab and animal research is strong, the human trials are early and mixed, and the best case in real life is a small nudge on top of solid habits. It can bother the stomach, it can interact with medications, and it's not for pregnancy, breastfeeding, or serious liver or kidney disease without medical guidance. If you've tried it, share your experience in the comments below, and let us know what supplement you would like to learn about it next.